Today, we are talking about the 2023 TaylorMade Mini Driver.
Yeah. 305.
This one is called the Burner Mini. Really cool color story here and kind of a throwback to the 90s with the bubble burner. You've got that kind of grayish fire sole color. Great looking golf club with the carbon fiber on top of the crown. You've still got that twist face technology that TaylorMade's been well known for the last few years for those off-center hits. It's 304 cc's, so it's larger than a 3-wood, but still smaller than the driver. The total length is 43.75, so it's about 1.25 inches shorter than a driver, but about 1.5 inches longer than your standard 3-wood depending on spec. What's really fascinating about it is it's not just a driver for off the tee. You can hit this club off the fairway. It comes in 2 lofts. You've got 11.5 degrees. Then you've also got your 13.5 head. It has the 4-degree loft sleeve setting, so you can go up and down in loft. You can also change the lie angle and face angle when you make these adjustments. Some really cool notes from TaylorMade is they have reintroduced the K-sole. And where that's going to come into play is for that turf interaction when you're trying to hit this off the ground. And it is an absolute bomber. It's been pretty fun to test in the bay. Also for my clients who come to get fit, it's kind of a club you normally wouldn't think to test because everybody thinks bigger is better, right? Well, for a lot of my older clients or even some of my younger clients who struggle with consistency with these larger heads, they feel really comfortable hitting that 3-wood off the tee, right? But there's just not enough ball speed to get that distance going. So TaylorMade solved that problem in reintroducing it. Now, some of you may have seen mini drivers in the past. Most notably at the PGA Championship, Phil Mickelson actually won with the T300 mini driver from TaylorMade, especially at his age and the driving distance off the tee. Very impressive. What is unique about this mini driver versus the one from previous years? It's the first one to introduce a dual weight system. You've got a heavy weight in the front and a lightweight in the back, so they can be flipped. And how that's going to play into it is when the heavy weight's in the front, it's going to come off a little flatter with a lot less spin. So if you're mainly going to be using this off the tee, trying to get as much distance as possible, we're going to have that weight out in front. Let's say you're going to use it off the deck more, or you're struggling with that heavy weight in the front getting it in the air. We throw that heavy weight in the back, put the light weight in the front. It's going to pull that CG, also known as the center of gravity, backwards. That's going to get the ball in the air with a little bit more spin, a little bit more apex, which should help with that descent angle coming into the green. I think they kind of knocked it out of the park with the name Burner, especially with the colors. Again, throwing it back to the 90s, something that was, everybody remembers those bubble shafts. Terrible to regrip, but definitely a cool piece of technology. One thing that I wish that they would have done is at least give the option for what weights we want to put in there. That is the only negative that I can see that happened here is we are kind of stuck with the 13 gram here and the back, the 1.5. So that is going to come in at a D4 swing weight standard. So for some of my slower swing speed clients, what typically will happen with that heavy of a swing weight is they will struggle a little bit. But we'll do our due diligence in building to obviously maintain proper swing weight. So another big feature on the bottom here is what we can see is something that they've been doing even since the Rocket Balls days, so well over 10 years, is this speed slot. What that allows them to do is get this face thinner, because this is that ZA titanium face. Gets a really thin metal, so it's really reactive. Whether you hit it on the toe, obviously with twist face, the toe section has a little bit more loft. The heel section has a little less loft, so tighter dispersion. At the end of the day, that's what we're all chasing. Is distance is number 1 for most people. Dispersion is number 2. Hit more fairways. So we're going to hit some shots with this. You're going to pop up some numbers for you so you can just kind of see with my swing what numbers we produce and how that could play a role in it. So we'll hop in the booth now and we'll pop up some numbers for you.
Oh, yeah! 305. That's pretty sick. $2,500 spin, 13 launch.
So after hitting it, my initial thoughts were sound. That carbon provides a really nice crunch. I was honestly shocked a little bit. I didn't expect to like this golf club just because it's something that doesn't really suit my game. But I guess that's where technology is right now in golf, is even a niche club like this, something that a mass majority of us would never think to hit, could find a place in the bag. I could definitely see this playing some of the courses or events that I play in, where if it's a tighter golf course and I'm not as accurate with my driver that week, but still need the distance to stay competitive, I mean, it was just unbelievable how my misses off the toe, and instead of it going 15, 20 yards offline, we were seeing 6, 7 yards. Another thing that kind of caught me off guard in a positive manner is the off the ground. In years past, mini drivers, even though they say you can hit them off the ground, good luck. It just wasn't possible. With this case hole, you can, especially off of a mat, which is what you'll see us hitting off of mainly, and we'll do some course content as well, it tends to get snagged, just like it would outside if you get steep. You could actually feel this thing kind of glide through the mat a lot smoother. So they really did a nice job, considering most of their fairway metals use something called V-Sol. So this is a completely different shape than what they've used on most of their other fairway woods in the past. I think, especially with the PGA Tour over the last few weeks, you saw Tommy Fleetwood put it in the bag for Augusta, and then the week after at RBC, Fred Couples, the non-staffer, put it in play. So it's not just a club that's niche, it's not a gimmick. I mean, the best players in the world are hitting it, but also too, just like I alluded to earlier, a lot of clients who tend to struggle with accuracy finally have a club that they can put that confidence in without having to worry about the size of these 460 heads. So I think there is a place for it in the market. Hopefully they keep it around longer than a few months this time, because after Phil won with the PGA with it, it sold out and they never brought it back. The fitter in me really appreciates that they did give us the weights. As you can see with numbers, it's everything. With my swing, I'm a little steeper, so I spin it more. So I put the weight out in front, and I instantly noticed about a 2-degree flatter launch angle. Spin went from high 29, low 31s to kind of that 2,500 spin off the tee. But off the ground, even with that weight being out in front, it surprised me how easy it was to get in the air. So I look forward to keep testing it, continued fitting with it, and we'll see what happens. I think, if I give it out of 10, I think we'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. Obviously, there is room for improvement. Not everybody's going to like this look. But overall, really solid job, TaylorMade. Again, one thing that you'll always hear us say is everybody's got good products. We're trying to give you the most brand agnostic, honest review possible. And I think that's what we're going to, just continue to push is it's a great golf club. Is it going to fit everyone? No. Some people are going to come in and hit this and they're just it's not going to click, and that's okay. But for the people that do, that could be their breakthrough club. It could be the one thing that keeps them coming back to the golf courses. They've struggled for the last 3-4 years with these 460cc heads. So they've been hitting 3-wood or 5-wood off the tee, or heck, even a 3-iron. So they're losing 40, 50 yards of distance. And to stay competitive in this game, we need distance. So I truly believe with the Burner Mini Driver, it could be a club for you. So if you haven't already, subscribe, turn on push bell notifications. We are going to try to upload these reviews either weekly or bi-weekly as much as possible, and look forward to the next one. Thanks for listening.